Everybody who's been raised in Southern California has got a story about property values, about the house that they could have bought in Dana Point right on the water, and they could have gotten it for just 50 cents or something like that, or something ridiculous, you know, and now it's worth $50 million. And the 50 cents is a little bit of exaggeration. The 50 million may not be too much of an exaggeration these days, but it's ridiculous. And I often think about it when we're out on the water sailing, because when you're on the water sailing, so far today we've seen people fishing, we've seen people just doing pleasure boating, using great big pleasure boats, we've seen people out whale watching, we've seen people on their Sea-Doos racing around on Sea-Doos together, we've seen other people sailing, just every kind of water recreation on this President's Day that you could take advantage of. We've even seen people stop their great big boat that must have been, I don't know, a boat worth hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and look like they were just getting off the back of the boat, maybe to get into the water. It's a gorgeous day, but it's still maybe 50, 53 degrees. Cool, the water's just 58 or 59 degrees. And so it's not the warmest, but here's the thing I've been reminded of as I've watched all kinds of people, including these knuckleheads on the Sea-Doos getting ready to come by us. These guys go so fast and they're so noisy, and it drives me absolutely crazy when they head around. And I should have known they would come by the minute I started the video. But no matter what you want to do, it doesn't matter whether you live in a cheap little apartment up here, if you live in a trailer on the beach, if you live wherever you live, you've got the entire ocean here to fish in, to celebrate on, to sail in, to use a boat on, to get a Sea-Doo on, the beach to run on, the ocean to surf in. There is so much to do on the water. Now, I've lived off the water for the last 32 years in Riverside, but having that freeway is like a lifeline to be able to get to the water, because I remember when we used to live in Indiana, and I used to go to this little river. It was called the Mississinewa River, and I would sit and I would fish on the banks of the Mississinewa River in the afternoon, and I would tell myself as I looked out at the woods, I'd be so homesick for the ocean and miss surfing. I'd tell myself that the ocean is just beyond those trees. Everything that I know and love, the recreation that I know and love, is just beyond those trees, even though it wasn't. And I think for each of us, we need to get to a spot in life where we accept wherever it is that we live. There's something wonderful wherever you live. But if you have the option to celebrate living on the ocean, you should definitely not just sit around in your homes, because so many of these people in these great big homes up here, they're off at work today, taking care of paying for them. They're spending their lives traveling, trying to find happiness someplace else, and they're not making the most of what's right here in front of them on the ocean. Because this ocean, we can take off right here, and I think the heading's about a 170, and aim right out towards Hawaii. You can go beyond that 170 to about a 140, I think it is, and head straight on down towards Fiji. And you can go beyond Fiji to Australia. Then you can just go on around. 77% of the planet is this that we're out on recreating right now. I don't know how much of the planet you're using today, but I'm guessing you're missing out on a whole bunch of it if you're not enjoying the ocean. I realize that I've been born with this luxury of getting to know the ocean. I think I'm the only one. And well, Danny used to sail with me. Danny used to sail with me. My brother Tim used to sail with one of his cousins, one of his family members. I'd forgotten about that. My parents, I took them sailing once. I remember my dad saying it was the only time he had ever been on a sailboat. And then he stopped. He said, except on the Nile. He said, I've sailed on the Nile. My dad's been dead for 11 years today. I've been thinking about him. My sister, I don't know if Kathleen ever sailed much. I don't remember ever. I've taken Kathleen on the boat with us here. Kathleen's come out and sailed with us on the boat. One of the nicest parts about having a sailboat is having days like this. Debbie and I getting to be together. But then also to think about how nice it would be to have our friends with us. Debbie said, whatever you do today, don't take any pictures, because Saturday we brought down grandkids and it was way too windy to take them out. And so today, it was perfect, and it would have been great to have them here. Anyway, whatever you're doing, this meandering, wandering video that I've made, I hope that you've celebrated President's Day. My day started at 12:30 in the morning at a dumpster at Central Community, and is closing off this evening here as we come into the harbor, sailing in gently and getting ready to go to dinner. And I'm just celebrating the fact that my equity isn't in property any more than it's in this ocean. My equity is in the adventure of living. I hope your equity is in the adventure of living today. Because without the adventure of living, you're just leading a mediocre life, and anybody can lead a mediocre life. Find a great big mission, a great big purpose for your life. Get involved in the adventure of living and live it out wholeheartedly every single day. And that's how you begin to lead a miraculous life. And you're invited to be the miracle. Have a fantastic evening. Great Monday off.